Johnbull stormed out of the house, his voice sharp as a blade. He held out a neatly pressed school uniform, its bright colors clashing with the wrinkles of time on his mother's face. "Mama, please don't waste my time. Dress up, or you'll be late for school," he commanded. The 70-year-old woman stared at him, bewildered. "Johnbull, what nonsense is this?" Johnbull's tone did not waver. "Mama, not even one kobo from me unless you attend primary school. I know you are old, but you must start from primary 1 and finish primary 6 before I give you a dime. Until then, I can't help you." Without another word, he turned and marched back into the house. Mama Johnbull looked after him as if he had grown 2 heads. "Johnbull, don't you dare turn your back on me. Come back here," she called, her voice trembling. But Johnbull ignored her. Furious, she grabbed the uniform and flung it away. Then, overcome with grief, she dropped to her knees, tears spilling down her weathered cheeks. "God, what have I done to deserve this?" she wailed. "Who did I offend? Why is my first son, the one meant to protect me, treating me this way?" Her sobs shook her frail body, but Johnbull had no sympathy. He stormed back out, this time with a heavy stack of textbooks in his hands. Without hesitation, he dropped them on her head. "Mama, these are your textbooks for primary 1. Study hard, and I will help you with your homework if you need it." Before he could step away, Mama Johnbull sprang to her feet and grabbed Johnbull by his expensive gold chains. "I swear to God, if you don't give me the money I want right now, I'll send you off to the afterlife. I birthed you, and to God who made me, I also will send you to your ancestors." A chill crawled up Johnbull's spine. His Adam's apple flopped up and down as he swallowed spit. This is how it all began. Mama Johnbull was only 19 years old when she gave birth to her first child, Johnbull. It happened by mistake. She was young, in love, and didn't know much about the world. Her boyfriend at the time was full of sweet words and empty promises. The moment she told him she was pregnant, he ran away. Nobody saw him again. She raised little Johnbull by herself. It was not easy. She worked on farms, cleaned houses, and even sold akara at the village square. She didn't complain. She just wanted her son to grow up and have a better life. Years passed. At the age of 38, she got married again. This time, she hoped for peace and more children. But her womb refused to carry another baby. She waited for years, but nothing happened. Her husband became angry. His family said she was useless. After many fights, he sent her away. He married another woman and gave her no explanation. Mama Johnbull packed her things and went back to her small house in the village with nothing but her tears and memories. Johnbull was growing fast. He was smart, always reading his books. His mother sold everything she had just to send him to school. When he finished university, he hugged her tight and promised, "Mama, I will go to Lagos. I will find a job. I will make you proud." At first, he did. He found a small job in an office. The pay wasn't much, but every month he sent something home. Sometimes foodstuff and money for rent. He called Mama every weekend. "Mama, how are you? Have you eaten? How is the village?" he would ask. She would smile, even if she was hungry. "My son, I'm fine. I thank God." Years passed again. Then one day, the calls stopped. No more foodstuff. No more money. No more, "Mama, how are you?" She waited and waited. Her phone became faulty. She could not afford a new phone. So she borrowed a phone to call him. The number didn't go through. She tried again and again. Nothing. Mama Johnbull didn't know what was happening. But far away in Lagos, her son had changed. He left his small job and entered the drug business. He made fast money. Big money. Johnbull became extremely rich. Too rich. He wore green and white all the time, his favorite colors. Gold chains hung from his neck like ropes. His cars were loud, shiny, and expensive. He had many girlfriends. He loved parties, loud music, and dancing in clubs. Every night he drank and laughed, forgetting the woman who once sold her only wrapper to buy his textbooks. Back in the village, Mama Johnbull was suffering. Her rent was due. The roof was leaking. She could barely eat 2 times a day. Still, she prayed for her son. Then one morning, she heard a loud knock. "Who is that?" she called out. "Open the door, woman," a rough voice replied. She opened the door slowly. It was her landlord. His face was hard like stone. "I have run out of patience," he shouted. "You are owing 6 years of rent." 6 years. "I'm tired. You can't stay here anymore. Please, just give me a little more time," Mama Johnbull begged. "My son, he will send money." "Enough," the landlord barked. He turned to the young men behind him. "Throw her things out. Now." "No, please," she cried, falling to her knees. But they didn't listen. They rushed into the house and began dragging her things outside. Her old mat, her pot, her clothes, everything was thrown into the dust. "Oh God," she whispered. "What did I do to deserve this?" The hot sun was shining hard on Mama Johnbull's head as she sat beside her scattered things. Her cooking pot rolled into a gutter. Her wrapper was covered in dust. People passed by, but only a few stopped to ask what happened. Most just looked and shook their heads. One woman from the next compound came closer. Her name was Iya Moses. She knelt before Mama Johnbull. "Mama Johnbull, what happened?" she asked gently. "My landlord threw me out," she replied with a tired voice. "He said I owe 6 years of rent. He didn't even wait to hear my side. My son stopped sending money." "Johnbull, that fine boy, the one who used to call you every weekend?" Iya Moses asked. "Yes," Mama said. "That same one." Iya Moses held her hand. "Don't worry, Mama. God sees everything." That night, Mama Johnbull slept outside, beside her load. The ground was cold. Mosquitoes bit her legs. Her stomach made noise from hunger. Still, she said her prayers. "God, please touch my son's heart. Remind him of me. Let him remember the mother who carried him." Meanwhile, in Lagos, Johnbull was dancing in a big club. Music was loud, drinks were flowing, and lights were flashing. He was wearing a green agbada with gold patterns. His fingers had 4 rings. 3 girls were laughing and dancing around him. "Johnbull, you are the king of Lagos," one of the girls shouted. He smiled proudly, throwing money in the air. People picked the notes from the ground like ants on sugar. Someone tapped his shoulder. It was his childhood friend, Dozier. "Guy, I beg, when last you call your mama?" Dozier asked. Johnbull frowned. "I beg no spoil my mood. I don't want to talk about village matters." Dozier looked serious. "Village matter? That woman suffered for you. You forget so soon." "I've sent her enough already," Johnbull snapped. "Let her rest. I'm busy building my life." Dozier shook his head. "You are building life and letting the foundation rot." But Johnbull didn't answer. He turned back to the girls and continued with his dance. Back in the village, Mama Johnbull woke up the next morning with a stiff neck and empty stomach. Iya Moses brought her a small plate of pap and akara. "Mama, you can't stay outside like this. Come and stay in my backyard room for now. It's small, but at least you'll have a roof over your head." Tears rolled down Mama Johnbull's cheeks. "Thank you, my daughter. God will bless you." She carried her a nylon sack and followed Iya Moses. The room was tiny and dark, but it was better than sleeping outside. Mama Johnbull laid down and stared at the ceiling. Her body was tired, but her heart was more tired. Then she got up. Her heart was beating fast. She walked to the corner of the small room, bent down, and picked up her nylon bag. She untied it slowly. Inside, wrapped in a handkerchief, was the last money she had. She counted it with shaky hands. 1, 2, 30 crumpled notes. That was all. She stood up and called out, "Iya Moses." Iya Moses came quickly. "Mama, are you okay?" "I'm going to Lagos," Mama Johnbull said, looking her in the eye. "I can't continue like this. I must find my son, Johnbull. Maybe something bad happened to him, and I don't know." Iya Moses looked shocked. "Lagos? But Mama, Lagos is far, and you don't know your way." "I don't care. I'll ask. Somebody must know him. I carried him for 9 months. I raised him with my sweat. He can't just forget me like this." The next morning, Mama Johnbull set out. She entered a rickety bus, squeezed between market women and children. The journey was long and dusty. Her back ached. Her head pounded. But her mind was set. She had to find her son. When she got to Lagos, the city overwhelmed her. The noise, the cars, the tall buildings, everything moved so fast. She brought out a small faded photo from her bag and began showing it to strangers. "Do you know this man? Please, this is my son. His name is Johnbull." Some people shook their heads and walked away. Others looked at the photo and just laughed. Hours passed. Her legs hurt. Then, by a miracle, one man squinted at the photo and said, "Ah, this guy looks like one big man I've seen in Lekki." Mama Johnbull's eyes lit up. "You know him?" "I think so. He drives big cars and always wears gold chains." "Wait, yes. He's in Lekki." He gave her directions. She thanked him with all her heart. She climbed into a kekanap and clutched her bag tightly. Her stomach was empty, but her heart was full of hope. When the kiki stopped, Mama Johnbull gasped. She stood in front of a modern mansion. The walls of the house were tall. The compound had flowers, lights, and a security camera that looked like a small robot. There were cars parked in the compound, but no one was in the house. Her legs felt weak. She walked slowly to the pavement by the house and sat down. She waited and waited. Hours passed. Nobody came out. No sound. No music. No Johnbull. After a long wait, suddenly a black SUV rolled down the street and drove past her. It turned into the compound. She saw her son, Johnbull. He had grown fatter. He wore dark shades, a green Agbada outfit, and heavy gold chains. He didn't see her. He opened the car door and stepped out, speaking into his phone and laughing loudly. That was when she called him. "Johnbull!" He froze. Slowly, he turned around. He saw her. "Mama!" "Good evening, Ma. What are you doing here?" he asked, looking confused. "I mean, how did you find me?" Mama Johnbull stared at him slowly. Her voice shook. "Is that all you can say?" Johnbull stared at his mother like he was seeing a ghost. She stood there with dust on her feet and her wrapper tied tight around her waist. Her eyes were tired, but her voice was strong. "Mama, why didn't you call me first?" he asked, glancing around nervously, as if someone might be watching. "Call you with what? With the phone I don't have, or the one you never pick again?" Johnbull scratched his head. "You should have sent someone. I mean, this is Lagos. It's dangerous for someone your age to travel alone." Mama Johnbull took a step closer. "Don't tell me about danger. I faced danger the day you were born. I faced danger raising you alone. Danger did not kill me then. You are what is killing me now. Mama, calm down. Let's go inside," Mama Johnbull commanded. "Inside where?" Johnbull retorted. "Mama, you can't be shouting like this outside. Are you saying I can't enter your house?" Mama Johnbull demanded. "Okay, let's stand here until you answer me. What happened to you, Johnbull? You used to call me every weekend. You used to ask if I had eaten. You sent money. You sent food. What changed?" Johnbull looked away. "Things happened. Life became complicated." "Complicated," she scoffed. "You have a mansion, cars, money. You shine like a golden lamp. But your own mother sleeps on a cold floor in another woman's backyard." He sighed. "Mama, please. Let's not do this here." "Why not here?" she cried. "You think I'm ashamed? You think I care who hears me? I carried you in my belly for 9 months. I sold akara to pay your school fees. I ate once a day so you could eat twice. And now you pretend I don't exist." "Mama, I didn't forget you," Johnbull said, his voice lower now. "I had to focus on myself." She shook her head, heartbroken. "So focusing on yourself means forgetting who brought you to this world?" "It's not like that. I just needed space." You needed space, she repeated softly, and you left me to rot. 6 years, Johnbull. 6. My landlord threw me out like a dog. Johnbull opened his mouth, but no words came. Johnbull, I want money and I want it now, Mama Johnbull said firmly. He turned to look at her. Mama, money for what? I want to build a house in the village, she said without blinking. My own house. My own land. I want 300 million naira. Johnbull's mouth dropped open. 300 million naira, he shouted. Mama, are you watching fairy movies in your dreams? Yes, she said without flinching. 300 million. Is that too much to ask from my own son? You wear watches worth millions. You pop champagne every night. And I should live like a beggar? God forbid. Johnbull shifted from one foot to the other. Mama, where do you expect me to get that kind of money just like that? You have it, she fired back. You throw money like sand at parties. You build houses for women who don't know where your umbilical cord was buried. He turned and stared at her. Okay, he said quietly, almost too calm. Mama, wait for me here. She nodded slowly. Johnbull entered the house and closed the door behind him. Minutes passed. Then suddenly, the door flung open and he stormed out with loud footsteps. His face was hard. His voice was sharp like a broken bottle. He held something in his hand. It was a neatly pressed school uniform. Mama, please don't waste my time, he barked. Dress up, or you'll be late for school. Mama Johnbull blinked. What did you say? I said dress up. You want 300 million. Then you must earn it. She frowned. Johnbull, are you drunk? He ignored her. From today, you're going back to school. Primary school. You must start from primary 1 to primary 6. Only then will I start giving you money. She stared at him, her lips parted in disbelief. Without another word, he turned and marched back into the house. Mama Johnbull looked after him as if he had grown 2 heads. Johnbull, don't you dare turn your back on me. Come back here, she called, her voice trembling. But Johnbull ignored her. Furious, she grabbed the uniform and flung it away. Then, overcome with grief, she dropped to her knees, tears spilling down her weathered cheeks. God, what have I done to deserve this? She wailed. Who did I offend? Why is my first son, the one meant to protect me, treating me this way? Her sobs shook her frail body, but Johnbull had no sympathy. He stormed back out, this time with a heavy stack of textbooks in his hands. Without hesitation, he dropped them on her head. Mama, these are your textbooks for primary 1. Study hard, and I will help you with your homework if you need it. Before he could step away, Mama Johnbull sprang to her feet and grabbed Johnbull by his expensive gold chains. I swear to God, if you don't give me the money I want right now, I'll send you off to the afterlife. I birthed you into God who made me. I also will send you to your ancestors. A chill crawled up Johnbull's spine. His Adam's apple flopped up and down as he swallowed spit. To be continued.